Hey everybody, it's just Beast. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Scottyallenday. How has the airport changed since the 80s? What is the graveyard shift like? What happens on the graveyard shift? Is this shift what I expected? What is challenging about the graveyard shift, let alone at the airport? Well, that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. I have my notes right here. I have other notes about other videos that I want to do. I've got notes everywhere. So basically, I got a job at the airport. I worked the graveyard shift, and the thing is, back in the 80s, when I roamed the streets, and I lived on the streets while I was in between concerts. Actually, before I actually started working concerts, it got cold outside. And, I need to find a place to sleep. I need to find someplace warm. So it was either the Greyhound bus depot that had just about every homeless guy sleeping there already. The train station had the same thing. Or the airport. So I boarded the bus and I went down to the airport. Now that first night I walked around, I saw a couple of homeless people. But you were able to walk all the way up to where the planes took off. And I said, okay. So I laid down on the floor and went to sleep there. Everybody thought I was, a traveler. I made sure that I slept close to where somebody else was sleeping, just to, kind of make it look like I was traveling with them. In the morning, I got up and I'd take off. I did that for about a week. So I saw a lot of things that were down there in the airport. I mean, we had homeless people that came in and out. We had people that came in and dug for cans, and we had people panhandling outside, and and there's about a tenth of the traffic that we have now. So, I mean, we didn't even have a security checkpoint at that time, which was kind of unusual. I mean, you didn't even have to go through security. So, pretty much, the airport back in the 80s was just like if you were walking into a Super Bowl to go shopping. You go in, you can hang out all day if you wanted. So today, working at the graveyard shift, I started thinking about, how easy it was back when I was younger to be able to go and, just hang out at the airport all day, watch planes take off, people watch. Man, my hair doesn't like me today. Watch people watch, kill the time away. Now that I work the graveyard shift down at the airport, I've started noticing a few more things. So when I drove downtown, and you're driving a bus, and you try to shift lanes, it's like NASCAR. They're not going to let you over. But I'm working graveyard at the airport. I've got to change 3 lanes over to get into the left lane to take my exit to where I need to go park. They let you over. And I'm like, what? I turn my turn signal on and they back off and they let you over. And I'm like, what? And then when you leave the terminal, you have to get over 1 lane and it's busy. You turn that turn signal on, you get over and they back off and they let you over. And I went, what? It's amazing. They respect the buses at the airport. I said, okay, well, the buses are fine, but let's see how everybody is with the crosswalks. Because I worked at the airport back in early 2000s. Actually, the year 2000, I was working at the airport out in Boston, and nobody stopped. If you wanted to go on a crosswalk, nobody stopped. Even though there was stop signs and it was painted on the ground, nobody stopped. It was like Indy 500. And again, taxi cabs wouldn't let you over. People wouldn't let you over. But now, even at the graveyard shift, I'm not during the day shift, but the graveyard shift, everybody stops. I said, am I in a paranormal dimension? Am I in a different world? Did I step through a bubble that all of a sudden it's an adverse dimension, which everybody actually follows the rules? And it was weird. It is. It's weird. And then, well, you have certain lanes that certain vehicles can be able to go in. You have your taxi and your limo lane. You have your Uber and your Lyft lane with your charter buses and specialty buses, and then you have your parking shuttle lane, and then you have the general traffic lane. That's down below. Up above, you have your charter bus lane, and then you have your arrivals lane, departure lane. Everybody goes in their own lane. Nobody goes where they're not supposed to. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. And it still baffles me. And then the thing is well, with the homeless problem that we have going nationwide, I figured there'd be all kinds of homeless people sleeping down in the airport. I haven't yet seen one. I think I've seen a couple, but I think it's only for like a night or two, and that's it. I thought I'd see homeless people bathing in the bathroom. Don't see that either. The airport, you always had to go down off grounds just a little bit back in the 80s to be able to find the drugs. Nowhere. I'm like, wait a minute. What the heck is going on here? A guy comes in and he starts digging through trash cans. In 5 minutes, airport security's there escorting him off the property. A person is pushing their shopping cart to get onto airport property, and airport security is off escorting him off airport property. It's like the airport is its own world. And if you're not supposed to be at the airport, they do everything to get you out of the airport. I mean, I've known out in Boston, when I worked out in Boston, I've known out here in Oregon where I've worked, that they have their own police, fire, and medical. The railroad has their own police force, and they also have their own fire department. Somewhat. And it's their own world. It's just like it's their own turf to enforce. That's the only land that they need to enforce. If you need help, they're going to be there within a minute. And if you're not going to follow the rules, or if you have no business being there, you're gone. So I talked with one of the officers the other day, and I said, well, what if I wanted to come park in the parking garage and have lunch at one of the restaurants that are on the concourse? I mean, I know I can't go through security without a ticket, but you mean concourse, there's 2 restaurants in there. You can patronize the restaurants all you want. You're already a customer, you already paid for your ticket. But if you're going to come here and you're going to loiter all day long, we know you're not going to be taken off. And I'm like, makes sense. So I got to talking to him a little bit more, and said, yeah, that's why we put economy parking on airport property, so we can be able to watch after the cars. And one of the interesting things about this economy parking that we have out here is they have 8 security patrols. And they're constantly seen all the way around the whole entire lot. The employee lot has a different lot in another area. Security patrols that all night long. There's 2 cars. For the entire 4 months that I've worked here, I've only seen 3 cars with broken windows. Just 3. And I'm like, wow. So I talked with one of the security guys there, and I said, I've only seen 3 in 4 months. He said, yeah, that's a little bit more than what we normally see. We normally get about maybe 1 every 3 months. And I'm like, whoa. And I said, okay. He said, you don't get break-ins at all? He said, no. He said, car thefts is not even existing in this lot anymore. I said, well, what about people that want to go and steal mufflers? And he said, nope, cat thieves can't, before they could even get their tools out of the car, won't know what they're getting ready to do, because there's a camera in every single shelter. If a guy rides a bicycle inside of the lot, inside of the economy car park lot, it's only a matter of 2 to 3 minutes before the airport police are confronting him. If somebody walks into that lot with a bag intending to get cans, he's got about a minute and a half, and the police are right there. Security's already watching him. And I'm like, okay. And I've seen about 5 people get arrested, thrown into the back of the car, and hauled off since I've been here. I thought it would be a lot more. So it's kind of like I'm in an adverse dimension in a different time. Kind of feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Because the airport, it's a different world at night. It's still busy. I mean, it's busy as heck. We're non-stop all night long. It's noisy. And tons of people. So I figured I'd end up with a bunch of, different attitude travelers. Huh? All in a good mood. Have a good day. Thank you for helping me. On and on. And I'm like, where do these people come from? I said, I know there's a plane coming in from Vegas, and somebody's got to have lost everything. You couldn't tell. So I already knew that when I was starting that, well, most people that travel out of the airport go on vacation. If you're going on vacation, you're happy because you're getting out of the house, you're getting away, you're getting a chance to decompress and de-stress and live your life. But I figured I would see a small percentage that didn't. Well, I'm on. And the staff there and the people that work there are all pleasant to be around. So it kind of gives me a different outlook of the graveyard shift. Now, to finish up the rest of the questions that I have on here, is this shift what I expected? No, absolutely not. What is challenging about this shift? Just keeping up because it's so busy. And how has the airport changed since the 80s? There's a lot more security, a lot more rules. And they have a tighter grip on the airport. They know who's coming in, they know who's going out, they know who to keep out, and pretty much they support everybody. And let's see here, what's the graveyard shift like? It's a whole different ballgame. The graveyard shift is hard to adjust. Basically, you have to learn how to take your life and turn it upside down. So you black out the curtains in your room. You avoid caffeine when closer to the end of your shift so that you're drawn down so you can sleep. Most people would have earplugs, but I wear hearing aids. I just take my hearing aids out and I don't have to hear nothing. But your life is totally different. On my days off, I have to stay up until 5 a.m. I don't go to bed like everybody else does. I got to stay up. That's so my body stays accustomed. And I'm fully awake and fully alert. So it's a little bit of a lifestyle change, but not much. So, has anybody here ever worked a graveyard shift? What about a late shift? What about an early morning shift? Let me know in the comment section below. Would you ever work a graveyard shift? Let me know in the comment section below. Have you ever worked at the airport? Let me know in the comment section below. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video. Till next time, keep on rocking.